this epiphilia is pubescent, maybe the ages of 14 to 16, 17, 18. Then there's pedophilia. Pedophilia is pubescent children. That's those ones that are like 6 months old kids.
Yeah.
You know the way Ariana Grande is small. That's the US standard for how women should look. Smallish, look like a child. Then there's zoophilia. This is non-human animals. Some people get fetish from seeing it's
with animals.
Yes, non-human animals. Teddy bears.
Teddy bear, yeah. Okay.
Stuff.
Sorry.
Then there's also some here that I could not write, but we'll talk about it, which is having sex with corpses.
On a fetish show.
On a fetish show.
Now the winner.
And they each have their own cult following. People do
it. Yeah.
People do it. People are excited about
anything with the people must follow you now.
Someone in Ghana was saying something like this.
Yes, they do have sex with corpses. Yes.
Yeah.
So, they said little research has been conducted to examine paraphilic sexual interest in non-clinical samples. They said the little that exists suggests that typical sexual interests are more common in men than in women, but the reasons for these differences are unknown. So I want us to talk about that. Is it because men let's say society allows men to be more expressive, yes, with their sexual life than women?
Expression is behind doors now, so nobody knows how you do it. That has to do with man.
In general terms, not just females. Females tend to be more conservative.
Outward.
Inward.
No, inward they show themselves well.
Yeah.
Especially those Amaria, Islamia, Bible study. Outwardly they are very, very religious. And once that door is closed, you will see tiger in action. You know now. Guys can express their own outside, but women express their own indoors a lot. Because some people tend to be, okay, the society will look at me as this. So let me express myself with somebody I like or somebody I love.
It might be a bit easy.
In terms of fetishism, what I'm saying.
In terms of fetishism, it might be easier for the guy to express his fetish than the girl.
Yes, openly.
Firstly, because of the fact that we live in a society whereby you can get compensated.
Correct.
Compensated
for the fetish service. Like looking at that example of that your friend that got compensated. No, that okay, probably this woman, once she hears this money, she will jump on it, and it's more acceptable for women to kind of hawk their sexuality than men, because I hardly see men standing outside and trying to stop a car in society. It's not a common thing. Everybody should. But it's not a common thing.
It's not a common thing.
It's not a common thing. Yes.
That one I would wonder.
To stop for sex.
Like in terms of fetish. Have you seen it before? I have not seen it.
I've not seen it, but
I've heard it.
I've heard it.
Even in Kano,
it's common place for ladies.
yes, but it's a very common place for ladies. So it's easier for a guy with, let's say, 1 million or 10 million self to just stop a girl and tell her, see what I want to shit on your face. This is what I'll give you. And she thinks about it. Probably she never see that kind of money.
a blow.
You should let her. But for a guy, a girl will not really have that effrontery
To do it.
to come to him and tell him that kind of thing.
The richer ladies does. Richer ladies.
Unless she's extremely rich.
I know of somebody who is a government official anyway.
Yeah.
The boyfriend, if the boy opens his body, you'll be ashamed of him. You cry. When the woman was out of government, she was very happy because the woman had everything and she pays well. They really fan.
May I also
Moon down where?
What's the question here?
Okay.
Is it the question is in terms of expression or who has more access to
Expression.
Because there are two things here. Which, whether male or female, who tends to express fetishes more, or whether male or female who has access to expression.
Who tends to expression?
Okay. Now, I have a contrary idea to this. It is generally believed that because in our environment, women are taught that sex is a taboo, it's something that you can't do. But then, we also do not realize that in so many situations, men are emasculated to the point where they're also taught that sex has to be a certain way. That means fetishes are ways for them to express themselves in ways that society does not allow. Meaning fetish is another method of self-expression. And the reason, I don't even feel, I feel they are more of the caged ones than the women. I would say this, and when I talk to women who say, why, you know, in our society, it's okay to be lesbian, but it's not to be gay. You know why? I feel women are more beautiful creatures than men. No two women are the same. We have variations. I mean, like here, none of us look the same. But when you guys take off your clothes, you're exactly the same to us. Typically. So in a situation like that, men lack self-expression because there's homophobia. Guys can't touch each other.
I'll blow you, the man. I'm gonna knock you. I'll blow you.
That is the reason fetishes happen, because men have expression, men feel things that are not allowed. Because you're a male, you can't. For example, there are men after sex they cry, but you're not allowed to do that because it's wrong. There are men who would rather take it on the ass. It's not allowed. These things exist. Listen. Now, do you see your reaction? Do you know if there are men here who would prefer? You wouldn't know. And that is the reason
Yes.
I feel fetishes are more in men because they're not allowed to express themselves. I could take off my blouse and y'all be clapping for me. Why not take off his clothes right now and you guys will invite him again? So he would be more willing. He is looking for me for self-expression, and that is why he has okay, like the guy in who would rub another. Do you know how many times he had probably preferred a certain kind of woman? I remember in some societies, certain kinds of women are not allowed. You have a fat ass, you're not supposed to look. What if a man likes that? But where he comes from or the environment he is, those women are regarded as werewolves. So you can imagine what his fetish will be. If he comes into an environment where there's a lot of that, or he can't have access, or he can pay for it. I believe the reason men have greater expression for fetish is because they really don't get to express their sexual preferences as much as us women. That's what I think.
Mainstream society tend to think that women are not allowed to express themselves or sexuality. You realize that? How can we change that? Mainstream, previously, now, future.
Because I feel other societies are beginning to embrace you can do whatever you want. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
That's the question. You said, how can we change that? But you also have to figure out if we want to change that. I listened to a man who was insulted. I mean, he was mortified by the fact that a woman, he looked at this lady and said, "You're just a cheap girl." And he said, "But I did you and you're small." And everybody, he said, "You're just a cheap girl I slept with." And the lady said, "I did you and you're small, I won't go back."
Yes.
Now, you see, everybody laughed at him and clapped for the lady. Now, the question is, maybe, do we want to change that? Because more men are becoming uncomfortable with the fact that women are bolder. We are. We're no longer ashamed. People could be sleeping with each other right now, and if you find out you clap for each other, it's no longer a big deal. Back in those days, like 10 years ago, if you hear that the girl will never show up again, now it's general conversation. And for men, that is also emasculating. Now, see how you all reacted when I said he's small. Now, if it's revealed, if one lady now reveals that one of you is small, you will not come back here.
Exactly.
So the question is, what?
Is there a problem with being small?
Is there a problem
with being small?
Depends on the lady.
Okay, because I've heard a girl say that there are some big guys that don't know how to even use it.
Yeah.
And there's some small guys that use it better.
You know what I'm trying to say is, it doesn't matter what I think, it's a general notion. So the question is, do men really want women to have that kind of power to put them down like they used to put us down? Because it's tilting, it's changing. We're now becoming more aware of our sexuality and we're owning it. You say I fucked you too. You understand? do men really want that? That's why when you said, how do we change it? The question is, do they really want to change it? Because this feminism thing is giving a lot of men issues because we're bolder and we're literally saying, now women shoot their shots. I can literally say, I like you, want to go home with me. It's unthinkable 5 years ago.
Yeah. True.
And do men, and you could probably be turned off by it and shy.
No, tell me, I love you, Dad. I like you too. I love you.
But it's not safe for everybody because you're in an urban area. Imagine that happened in a semi-urban area.
I know.
Not even rural, semi-urban.
Yeah.
Like you go all the way to even Lube.
The name of cultural environment.
Exactly. So do you even want to change? We want to change it, but do the men want us to have that kind of control?
Yes.
See,
That is the truth. The truth because you know back then, I don't know if it's still happening now when a girl asks you out and you're like, okay, asks you out, you now start feeling one kind like she was the one that came to me. You understand? But now
you're the man that's supposed to do it.
Exactly, but now it's balance is becoming
very, very
now. If you ask me out, it's
normal.
So
in fact, they can propose to us.
yeah, we don't mind.
That's alright.
No, let me tell you the truth. Let me be honest with you. You actually think you propose. We propose.
For chicks.
Yeah.
Girls
We
also
propose.
Women propose.
We are the ones who propose.
Women
We brought
actually
you to propose. You think you propose to us? We
Women
made you do
actually
it.
propose. Yes.
The only thing is we've not gotten to the point of we're doing it. You just don't realize.
Act. We are doing the act. We are doing the intuition.
Wow.
We are doing the
Okay,
act.
Would you marry me? So you're not going to marry me after 5 years?
That's proposal.
You don't know what just happened. It's an action
It's reverse
too. So
psychology.
yes, but it's an action.
But most times, people don't even ask what you marry me again.
Ah, we do.
Now, when you don't say too much, you have
Yeah, not before, God.
on normal. No.
Trying to use I just start. And when we be small now, they just let me now.
In the past, it wasn't more like we're enjoying, it's more like curiosity.
When we small.
What do they do?
When we're younger.
Okay, I have a question. Is watching porn a fetish?
For some people, yes.
Like,
And Pornhub said last year, 2019, Nigerian women.
Muslim visited Pornhub.
yes, in the whole
It's
world.
an indictment on the men.
They should be ashamed.
It's an indictment on men. If women are watching more porn in Nigeria than
the most.
Maybe they are using it to stimulate the men. Maybe they are using it to learn things.
Sorry, it's porn.
Because honestly, you wouldn't want a girl that doesn't know how to.
And the door is slightly open.
So you will not.
Chances are you will just say, let me just.
Let me give you an example.
Just take a look. Take a look. Just take a look. Don't trip it. Unless you are part of the show. Especially on this business.
Let me give you an
Not
example.
also.
One of okay,
In the uni, I have this friend who was beating my cousin. Every time I do my cousin, I'm like, so we didn't know what to do now. You know, they don't start. So I said, let me go and pee. And then he too was getting ready for me to pee. I brought out my hair from the guy just gave me 40 marks. I didn't shout there, I just screamed, I went to my head. Who sent you? I didn't tell you curiosity. I want to pee.
next one, I beg.
What about exhibitionism? That's exposing one's genital and not subscribing.
Is that not what's happening in social media?
I didn't get you.
There's a pastor.
Exhibitionism. You just said open your private to someone.
I don't know.
Yeah, someone you don't know.
No,
the person
that's
is not
rubbish
expecting
now.
it.
Those are nonsense.
But people do it.
I know for me.
Social media is happening every time.
Live
If you follow the
video.
wrong people, you
I guess
just see
it's
some
what
kind of
no.
offensive posts.
That's not turn off for me. They're not turn on.
Or some girls. Okay, what are some girls that just send you nude pictures on your WhatsApp or DM?
So not only girls.
I heard so, but it's very stupid. For
There is a CSC pastor who is going on viral now. He slept with the wife,
And the daughter
the
is trying
daughter.
to.
Then he
sleep
brought
with the
a
daughter.
video in Baltimore. He brought a video, bring it. I have it here. Was wanking. I said, what the?
the man of God.
Who did he sleep with?
The what they call him? Parishioner's wife now.
That's holy
And then
sleeping.
Eh?
Holy sleeping.
Only sleeping.
Banshing. So you want move the thing to the next level by doing papa, mama, and daughter. So picking that up cast the show. Father begin rake. I think the Palestinian fuck up there. Because I had the wire on your wife. You see talk. You see them to talk.
They see me there to talk.
That's you don't get level now. Go on, my sister.
What about cross-dressing?
No.
No,
I don't get that one too. Go on.
Okay.
I think those kind of people, what I feel.
I like tomboy too. Yes, yeah. Tomboy.
There's something that they're trying to hide.
They know it in the girl.
Have you ever seen Bobrisky in person?
Yeah, I saw him when he came to transport last night.
He's not a very good looking person.
No.
But when he does the filters and does all the shit, he becomes very attractive. So it tells me that he has problems with himself.
Yes.
Insecurity.
Yes. That is why he was doing cross-dressing. Yes.
He's not confident in that.
Yes.
So do we
Because
call
when
that
you
a
see-
mental disorder?
Yes.
Yes, now.
It's the mental
Very, very.
disorder. That's the that's the biggest symptom.
Yes.
Mental disorder. In other words,
I don't agree.
well, I partially disagree.
I think it's an expression.
It's an expression.
No, let me tell you.
We might frown at it, but
Let's not take expressionism to
When did the
and make
expression
it
start?
legal. Because you see,
Exactly.
I have a problem with
it's not illegal.
or moral.
There is a loophole.
Let me ask you a question. Yeah.
Yes, it's not.
Okay, no.
I don't have a problem with you being gay or you being whatever you call yourself or being lesbian. But don't tell me you're a lesbian and you're working, or you're gay and you're walking into the male toilet. Oh, sorry, coming to the male toilet. Don't somewhere like Bobrisky, they're coming to the male toilet. I have a big problem with that.
Bobrisky going to
A female toilet. I have a big problem with that. You say you're a cross-dresser, you dress like a woman, and
where we are going.
and then they ask you to fill a form with your sex, and you go like.
Just be confused.
I'd rather not. Yes, there are forms. Rather not say. Rather not disclose.
Transgender.
It's there.
For
In
that
a lot
side,
of- yes. No. I have filled forms here in Nigeria. Yes, there are boxes. Milk.
In Nigeria.
Not everybody.
No, not federal
No
government.
federal government. Federal government allow that.
Not federal government.
Those are people that just they try their own
Yes.
thing.
Yes.
40 years.
They just they try their own shit.
Yeah, but you know, there are some that tell you that you'd rather not talk about
Oh,
it.
you're not supposed to be human being.
You know the way women queue.
Men
queue.
Queue for what?
For women.
Yeah.
I never see them.
I'm not.
Me, I've never seen it.
I never see them. When they put them.
Go wait to the lab.
It was just recently the guy called me, or he texted
Guy
me
sits down
and said
and read newspapers
he needs a
upside down.
woman that will be paying him. He wants to go into that business. That's all the
That's gigolo now.
That
It was
person
even
is a cartel.
and I said, I don't know
there.
what.
They are reading newspapers
that
in
But
and
then they
all they do is get a phone call from upstairs and then they go.
Good service.
They go service, come back, sits down again.
Maybe the go service man.
When I go to the concierge, you go to the concierge.
Why would I have to service a man?
Concierge in Appeal.
I knew that was
70 men or women.
Yes, they will ask you. Okay, do you want room service?
Maybe escort level.
They will ask you. Then on which level? Do you want the male or you want the female? It's happening here. It's happening in Sheraton, in Lagos. It's
That's all right.
happening.
Go on. That's all right.
Wow.
What of urophilia?
Sorry?
Urophilia.
It's like we didn't go to. You know some of us
Urine,
didn't go to.
getting sexual excitement from urine.
From urine.
Not sweating. Not sweating.
No.
Watching the people turning hallelujah. Fountain, river.
River of Joy.
Oh no! Just do it. Do it.
What about cattle?
But you must touch the spot. Oh. No, 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 kaka. Not be here. Na Dubai. Not be here. Na Dubai. Not be here.
No go school.
You allow someone who put on top of you.
You guys explain this.
Next one.
So what about pedophilia? That's present kids.
Obviously, 6 months.
But some people do it.
How can you? No, we did. Some of us.
It's a crime. That's why they say sometimes.
Exactly.
That's the thing. How can you wait?